Hi guys, welcome back to AE Talk Show. This is where you get the right content. We give you the quality. Authenticity is our trademark. Today we are going to talk about another issue, another topic which is very sensitive. Today our concern is going to be on the street life. The street life when we come to Europe. We have what we call street life. And today we want to deal with it, let people know what it means exactly. What it means exactly. Because sometimes we have some wrong perceptions or maybe some wild perceptions that those who are living in the streets are dealing with drugs, blah, 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 blah. Today we are going to tell you everything, give you the much details that you need. Stay tuned. All right. As usual, I have my co-partner here, Mr. Wilson, always with us now and ever. Amen. Now and
Hallelujah,
ever.
somebody.
Now and ever. Now and ever. So, bro, you are welcome to today's episode.
Thank you. You're also welcome.
As I said, today we have to deal with the street light. I want you to take us through what it means exactly, the street life issue. What does it mean?
Okay.
What does it mean?
The street life, just like what we were saying in our previous episode, streets is just a name. The word street is a name. With my little knowledge I gotten from the street, what I understand from the street is, in the street, first of all, you know that we have the good, we have the bad, and we have the ugly.
Okay.
Then the word street is just like a tree that has different branches.
So you said good, bad and ugly. Okay.
Is there. So the word street is just like a street, a tree, sorry to say, that have different branches. Different branches in the sense that you choose the sides you want to go for. Some people are in the street does not mean they are bad people. Some people in the street does not mean that they are criminals, they are drug addicts, they are drug pushers, all sorts of kinds of evil. No. Some people are genuine in the street because of the circumstances of life. Some people genuinely in the street because they just enjoy the street life.
Okay.
Not really because they want to live a wayward life. Why there are some on the street just choose to live wayward life. So it all depends on individual. I can call myself a street man. Does not mean I'm a criminal.
Okay.
So I want people to understand that for the fact that the word street means, so whenever the person say I'm a street hustler, does not mean that he's a criminal, or does not mean he's a drug pusher or a prostitute, permit me to say.
Okay.
So we have different angles of being a street hustler. So it all depends on where you choose to
where
follow.
you are coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, so now from what you said, you were saying that it is good, bad, and ugly. Let's start from the good. When you say the good side of the street life that we are talking about, where do you come from? Like, where are you coming from?
Just like what I said before, the good part of the street, like what I was trying to explain, being in the street does not really make you a criminal.
Okay.
There are people in the street who do genuine job.
Okay.
They work genuinely. So you can't categorize all those kind of people as criminals because they said they are in the street. Why some purposely lives in a kind of environment which they titled as a street environment. For me, there is no environment that is the street environment. Every environment you find yourself, you can make street life out of it.
Okay.
There is no place that is specially designed for street life. Yeah, we have some places that are so corrupt.
There are some communities that
are really rough.
Yeah.
So those places, they title them as a street. No, anywhere can be street. Any place you wake up in the morning, you go to your hustling, you come back. We are all part of the street hustler.
Yeah.
In as much you are trying to make a living. For me, you are in the street. You are a street hustler. Whether you are you are in the bad part, you are in the good part. So the good part of the street is there are those who genuinely lives the street life, not because they are criminals, not because they are drug pusher or prostitutes or whatsoever, but there are them who are there in the street. They do genuine job. Genuinely, they work genuinely, but they just enjoy street life. Does it mean that they are criminals? No. Does it mean that they are drug pushers? No. Does it mean that they are prostitutes? No. But they are those genuine ones who are there. You can, even looking at them, you know that these guys are real genuine people from the street. Fine, your face cannot tell, but sometimes those who knows how to read people's face can tell you that this guy is a genuine person. Oh. After all, the Bible says by their fruit.
So my question is, so can you be safe to, like, talking about the good side of the street life? Is it safe to have a genuine business going on the street side?
Why not?
Is it safe?
Why not?
Looking at the surroundings, for example, I know there are certain communities here, especially here in Milan, that
let's take the central station.
It has been tagged that there are certain kind of people who normally live there or who normally go there. Can you go there?
No, not even central station. Do you know there's a street here in Milan they call Viale Padova? I don't know if you've been there before. That Viale Padova is a kind of a rough street. Okay. But does genuine people live there? Yes. Are there genuine business owners there? Yes. So do you want to, because of some people choose to live wayward life there, does it mean that the people who live there are not genuine?
I mean, the question is it safe?
From my own point of view, with my understanding, for me, it's safe.
Considering the conditions, blah, blah.
Fine. Sometimes you say those who are in the bad part of the street can come and vandalize and order sometimes.
Yeah, that is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you are talking to that direction, these days there are security, like place like here, there are securities everywhere. So it does not happen often. It happens more often like place in Africa, not even like now. Now, even the security system in Africa has increased.
Okay.
So it's not as bad as it is.
Okay.
So even in the rough places, there are genuine business owners there. Like that is why I make example with a Via Padova. There are genuine business owners in that place. There are genuine business owners there.
Maybe they will be facing certain challenges, but it is not that.
Look, there's no place. Look, there's no place that they might be facing
certain challenges based on the community that
probably
they are in.
Criminals and all that. But then again, those places you think is worst, and those places you think is better, they might even be robbing in that place than the worst place because they know themselves there.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So they understand the system. They know how to operate in the system. So for me, it's safe. It all depends on how you manage your affairs. So there's no business that does not have challenge at the end of the day, even whether it's from the street or you are not in the street. For me, everybody is in the streat. You also every day, you wake up every day, you go to work and all that. It's only when you are pensioned that you are not on the street again. In as much you still go to your office, you still look for daily bread, you are still a street hustler. It all just depends on the aspect you are looking it from.
Yeah. Okay, so now that you have taken us through the good area, the good side, as you've explained that basically, all of us that we are working, we are...
For me, that is how it takes it.
When you think deep, it is right. It is true. Because at the end of the day, you have to go to the street.
You pass through the street.
Your work, you have to pass through the streets, blah, blah. So I understand. It's clear. And that is the reality. Now, let's go to the bad side of the streets in respect to the drug pushers, the prostitutions, the dealers, the armed robbers. How are these people living their life?
First of all, those people who are into that kind of business, they know that their life is always on risk. First of all, drug pushing business is always risk. Is risk to the government, The government can come after you anytime.
Anytime.
It is risks to your own neighbor that you are doing the same business with, because that business is full of shit, full of betrayal. When you're talking about betrayal, bro, those guys are betrayal. They can betray themselves. They can kill. They can do all sorts of... I don't know if I don't know if you've watched a movie, an American movie called, I think American Gangster, right? Yeah, there's a movie like that. I think it was out by Dells in Washington also. It's called American Gangster. When you watch that movie, you will see the real reality of drug pushers. Yeah, you will see the real reality. The same thing.
Their lifestyle.
Their lifestyles is there. So generally, any business that is illegal is always full of betrayal. It's full of, should I say, evil?
Selfishness.
Selfishness, because the first thing you know is yourself. You don't know about the other person.
It's like you think about yourself.
You think about yourself, your protection of you. You protect yourself first so that you will not be victim. But then again, the government also will always come after you. Being in that aspect of the street is a kind of a business you do. Going to bed, you are scared. You don't sleep well. Because you don't know if the government might come at that particular hour. So it's a kind of a thing that you that is doing it, you know you are always at run. Yeah, you are always at run.
Because you know what you are doing is
because
not correct.
Exactly.
It's not right.
It's not right. So you are always at run, because there's no way you are comfortable. Even when you are traveling, you are always scared. If probably they've noticed that you are that bad nigga on the street, or if the police are after you. Some time ago, I think 12 years or 13 years back, I found myself in a kind of a situation. It's life story, yeah? Found myself in a kind of a situation that I was into credit card. I think I shared part of it the other day. Do you know, at that particular time, right? If I'm walking and I saw anything like siren, I'm always scared. The first thing I do is to try to take cover, because I don't know if the siren that is coming after me. So you see, you are not really, you might be making money, but have it in mind that the day they caught you, most of the money you make, you lose it. And most of that goes to the government, and the government the government will seize your property. Some of the money will go for the lawyers that will fight the cases for you and all that. So at the end of it, the street, that aspect of the street is a very dangerous game. You need calculation, you need wisdom. Look, those guys calculate 247. 247. You have to think ahead of your opponent. You have to think ahead of the government. You have to think of the way that you can transport it. So it's always a calculation. You must calculate how to transport it from one location to another without being caught. So it's a business that you do, is risk. Then the other aspect is prostitute aspect of it is also risk.
But nowadays, are the police? No, I think they have stopped, right?
I think, yeah, there are some that are well registered.
The prostitution, those
there are some that are registered. But,
and that is why when they see them on the road, they don't mind them or what?
Excuse me. It's not because, some they don't mind them.
I know that at first they were
after some of them. So you can imagine that. That is not even risk. If the government takes you as a prostitute, at mostly probably they send you to the prison. What if you enter somebody's car that you don't know?
You don't know.
Obviously, you don't know the person that is coming. You don't know the intention he has. You just enter the car and they drove you. You don't know where they are taking you to. Probably they are taking you to a place that you don't know, or no destination. So at the end of the day, they take you to a no destination. You don't know what happens thereof. So do you see the risk, the high level of risk in it? It's a very big risk. Those ladies, they take risk that You can't even imagine. Somebody just drove in, you ask you one or few questions, okay, you get inside the car and they take you to a no destination. You might be killed. Some people have lost their life in that process. You know how many prostitutes get kills on a daily basis? Get hurt on a daily basis. The numbers are increasing, but the risk is there. They know that is risk, but they are doing it. Some they are doing it for survivor.
I wanted to come to what is the source of, what causes all these, what motivate them to be knowing the kind of risk that is involved.
That is involved, and they still do it.
And then you go and stand there. You know that this place that I am standing in the evening, anything can happen to me. Nobody can see me.
Nobody will see.
Especially when you know.
Most especially those ones that walked at night.
In fact, they will stand under some tree where the via will be small.
Yes.
There will be no clear road. They will be standing
even
there.
at dark places.
So if something, let's say, some animal bites you, you get hurt, who is going to pick you? Or let's say a drunkard is coming and will just hit you.
That is the
continues.
problem.
Nobody will see you.
The issue is some people find themselves in that situation because of the struggle of life.
The struggle of life.
Yes.
Okay.
Then some are lazy. The only alternative they know they can do is that prostitution.
But to me, this work is
the
not
same thing to those who are into drug, credit cards, and all that. Like me, when I was into credit card, honestly, I was searching for a job for like 2 years. Not now that there is jobs everywhere. So out of the frustration and all that, I don't actually, I said, okay, I just saw someone that knows somebody. I started. But the thing is, the police will always come after you too. So some is circumstances of life, struggle of life. Some is just laziness. Why some is a fast way to make money. Bro, it's a fast way to make money. It's a fast way to... Don't forget, there are those who also scams online.
Yes.
Those are other parts of the streets too. Those ones who job people online, they are still in the street. But they do it from the comfort of their zone. But they are still the street hustler. So those are even the bad...
That is internet
fraudsters.
Okay.
So although it's the white people that call them fraudsters, they are thieves. Why growing up in Africa, anybody that takes something that does not belong to him, in Africa, we call them thief. So they are thieves.
How true is this? I heard, I have not confirmed it. I heard that viewers, this is only rumors. I just wanted some confirmation. I heard that those that are standing roadside prostitute, there is more times there is this one big man or woman who brings them from wherever they come from. And instead of for them to pay their debts, they have to do that kind of work to pay their debts, and they will find themselves.
You don't need to apologize. That's true. Is that what you're apologizing for? A lot of work
before they can pay their debt.
But the viewers even know that that's true. Some of them, I was even going there. Some were brought by some big mamas, big papas. At the end of the day,
okay,
they have to. That is the only way they can pay that kind. Somebody that brought you probably charge you 30,000 euros and all that, and he wants you to pay within 6 months, 7 months. How can you pay that kind of, if not prostitution? This is why you see some of these ladies outside doing that job. Some they didn't plan for it. Some of them they were deceived that where you come, this is what's going on, and this is what you. But at the end of the day, you get here, they change it for you that no, this is what you're going to do.
So the question is it true that after they have worked for God knows how many years to pay their debts, is it true that they get free, or it is difficult for them to break out of that kind of association?
No, I think, for me, with the little I know, some of them, they got freed.
Okay.
Yeah, they got free. I think after their payment, they got freed.
Okay.
So they can be on their own. Look, one of the reasons why prostitution is increasing on daily basis is because some so-called women who did it before, somebody brought them and they paid to the person. Now they also wants to bring somebody that will always pay for them. So you see why it will increase on daily basis. Then again, prostitution is something that you can't stop. It started from the Bible after all. So you can't stop it. Even the government, look, if you see the way government are strongly to stop it, they couldn't. They could not. They can't stop it. It's a whole profession.
Yeah, I learned other people pay taxes also.
So there are those who pay taxes for it that is government recognized.
Legalized it.
So it's a whole profession that you can't stop. Then it's the same thing with those who push drugs in the street. It's the same thing. You can't stop it. The more you try to stop it, the more they are increasing. When you stop them here today, they have gotten another location. Before you stop them, they've created another location. So it's something that is increasing on daily basis. I don't know, there's a city here in Italy, in Milan here, Rogoredo, you know the place. There's a particular quarter
that's under the train station.
Under the train station.
Pass that bridge.
Thank you. Do you know how many times police have gone to that place, raided that place? Not once, not twice, in so many occasions, but the people are still there.
They're still there.
When you chase them out today, the next day you see them coming. The problem is people wants to make fast money. People don't want to work. Some people don't want to work. So
in fact,
the only way they can generate the fast money is through that aspect of the street. These are the people giving the street the bad name we're talking about. It's not because the street was designed to be a bad place, but when people like this involve, it makes it look as if you said you are a street hustler, they look at you as one bad nigger. They look at probably, if as a lady, let a lady just come that I'm a street hustler. What will you think of that lady?
Yeah, prostitute. Because of the perception that we have. Because of the perception.
Yeah, because we have already have that mentality in us that anybody who is from the street is always a bad guy.
Then I think it's about the form of education that people get. Because for me, even for example, me sitting here, if you tell me about what do I think about street life,
the street,
I'll be talking all about negative aspects. I'll not be thinking about what you said earlier. You understand?
Yeah. So because for me, that is the street for you. Anybody who wakes up on a daily basis, go to his work, whether you are working at the office, you work on any fabric, whatsoever you do for a living, you are in the street. Until you go pension, if you are pensioned, then you have left the street for those who are still. The street is made for those who hustle for a living. The hustling is for everybody. Did you also? Yes. If you are a taxi driver, you are on the street. So how do you call a taxi driver? You are calling it a taxi driver is on the street. Those who sell on the roadside in Africa, they are on the street. Those who beg around the traffic here, they are on the street. There are those who beg genuinely, they don't steal. In as much as I don't support begging, they don't steal, but they are still in the street. There are those who says like those, I think, sorry to say, those Pakistan, Bangladesh, who goes around and sell all these battery chargers, phone chargers and all that.
Rose, the flowers.
Those who sell those guys are still on the street. Those who sell in the street, they are still in the street. So are you categorically telling me that, are you going to put those people in the set of those criminals? No, because those criminals are inside the street. Those people make their earning genuinely. Whether big, they are contented with the little. Imagine someone selling flour at the roadside, close to a traffic light. How much do you think he will be earning a day? Is earning probably maybe at the end of the day, give or take, maybe 50 euros. Probably some people, they have special customers who dash them because each of those flour costs 2 euro. So I have one I used to buy from back then. Each flour I buy, I paid him 5 euro. He's always happy. Whenever I see him, he's always yes, €5. He's always happy that
at least you get around 5 euros from.
In that way, they can make up to 50, 60 euro at the end of the day. Probably not every time. So you are not going to categorically or put those set of people to be bad people because they sell flower on the street. So they are no. If I tell you I'm a street hustler, your question should be, what do you do for a living in the street?
Exactly.
So not just looking at me and you just know this guy now, he's a street guy, he's a criminal. No. If I tell you I'm a street hustler, your best question is, what do you do? Then I'll tell you. Don't just look at me because I told you I'm a street hustler. You just look at me as a criminal or as a prostitute. No, that is what I want people to change from their head. We should remove that mentality of when somebody said I'm made from the street, automatically the person was once a criminal or probably once a drug pusher or once a prostitute. No.
I think it is the information out there, because from what we are discussing, it's like people act ignorantly. People don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes, that's true.
So it's like the perception that is being created in our mind is because of what people were saying.
What we are saying, or probably some of the movies we are used to.
Yes.
Because there are this movie, the art about the street is always on the negative side. So when it's who says on the street, they are part of the street. So you can't take them out. So you can't just look at everybody because I said I'm a street hustler, so I'm a bad boy. No.
But don't you think maybe those who are working on the streets or those who are on the street, it's their fault? Because sometimes when you ask them, they will say, "Chale me, I dey street oh, chale me, I dey." The person who is saying, "Chale me, I dey street oh, I dey street, I dey hustle for," you could see the persona of the person, the stature of the person, or what he or she represents. You could see from the lips, from the hands, that this person might be somebody who smokes weed, who deal with this thing. Okay. Maybe that contributes to that perception.
Now. Is a smoker a bad person? The question you should ask now.
You will hardly see somebody who has put on tie with a file coming to tell you that, my brother, I did street.
It's because you don't know.
Yeah.
That is what I'm telling you. What you don't know, you can't talk about it. Okay? I can put on tie, put on complete suit. I'm still a criminal. It does not change the fact that I'm not a criminal. As an African man, I can put on a gentle African man's attire. I'm still a criminal. Your leaders in Africa, did they steal your money? Did they steal it with rugged jeans? No. That is the question.
Yeah, I understand.
Are they stealing your money with rugged jeans? Are they stealing your money with weed on their hands? No. But they steal your money with suit and tie.
Yeah.
Are they not criminals? They are criminals. It's the same thing. You that steal from the government office or whatsoever, you are a criminal. So in any which way you steal, a criminal is a criminal. So you talking about somebody putting on complete and still being in the street. Yes. We have so many categories. That is what I tell you, that those people on the bad part of the street,
they are more
calculative than you. So they do everything to protect their product. They can dress with suits and file. If I'm only file, you know what is inside the file. If I'm holding a briefcase, you know what is inside the briefcase. If I'm wearing suits, you know where I'm going to. For you, I'm just that gentle nigga who's probably going to the office or coming from the office. So my look cannot define where I'm coming from or where I'm going to. Look, it's only the person that they caught is a criminal. In as much as they've not caught you, you are not a criminal. Wait until the day they caught you, the government got you caught, right, red, and then you know that, this guy is a criminal. So I thought he's a gentleman. So you are a criminal. So the dressing the person put on is not what defines the person to be a criminal or to be a good person. No. By putting on the most rugged jeans on earth, I'll still be the Mr. Nice Man. I might put on a very good suit, good style, looking so gentle, good shoes. I'm the most wicked being on earth.
Yeah, you are right.
So our look does not define. So you're talking about smoking also. Me smoking, and probably my lips are blacks, does not mean my hands are blacks. Does not mean
but most
I'm
of the
a
time,
criminal.
my brother, most of the time.
Let me. That is what I'm trying to make you know now. For you, most of the times, it comes out to be that those of them that smokes, any man who smokes, in his hands will always go blacks and all that. But now I want to ask you that because we are black people, okay? Now I want to ask you, the colored man that is so colorful, who claims to be a white man, who smokes, did you see the sign of smoking in his hand?
No.
How many?
The one that I have observed is they are usually pale, especially when it comes to their hands here. You see this place, they are usually pure, like white. Like you could see no blood, dry.
But do you know there are some people like that?
Yeah.
I have a friend there, his lips is naturally black.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you see him, he looks like a smoker. He does not smoke, he does not drink.
I know of that too. There are some people who
are naturally like that. I have a friend his palms are very black. Yeah. It's not because he's a smoker, but that is how he was created. That's why I'm telling you, your looks sometimes does not define who you are. So there are people smokes because for reasons. Some people smoke for habit. Some people has the habit of smoking. Why some smoke for reason. In any which way they smoke, I'm not against them smoking, but the issue is you smoking does not make you a criminal. So that is what I'm trying to bring out.
Understand.
The street is not a bad place. It all depends on how your understanding with the street. For me, with what I've understand with the street, everybody is a street hustler. In respect of where you are working in the bank, you are working in the office, you are working with the insurance company, whatsoever you do for a living, you are a street hustler. For me, the day you go to your pension, that day you leave the street. In as much you are working, whether you own your own empire, you are still hustling. You are still earning income. So you are still hustling. You have retired. You are tired of working. You don't want to work again. You now sit at home to get paid, probably eat what you've hustled for before. Then you can say you are not in the street. But in as much you are working, for me, you are still in the street. So the street is not bad as you are taking it to be bad. Just the differences is we misunderstand it because mostly the bad people are always the one at the front of the street. Whether you stays in the ghetto, because at the end of the day, they said those who stays in the ghetto are those who are really the street. No, you who stays in the ghetto, you are not in the street. Circumstances makes you to live there. It's because at a time, that is where you can afford. So in as much you can afford the ghetto, does not mean that you are a bad person who lives in the ghetto. We have pastors in the ghetto. We have reverends. Look, the ghetto has raised the most celebrated people in the world. The most celebrated people in the world were raised from the ghetto. As a matter of fact, they discovered their talent from the ghetto. Probably, they would have discovered their talent if they were not in the ghetto. The ghetto exposed them. Makes them to understand that this is where I am called. So you see some good footballers, most especially those from Africa, they started from the ghetto. If you hear their stories, they will tell you, when they tell you their story, you know the power of ghetto. So you being in a ghetto, at that moment, you are in the ghetto, is for you to discover who you are. The ghetto is not a place for you because you are poor or because, probably it's because of the circumstances at that time. Maybe you can't, that is where you can afford. But you being in the ghetto does not mean that you can't make living. So people who are in the ghetto, that opportunity you have, use it to discover what you can do for the society that can take you out of the ghetto. So most people have taken people from the ghetto because they discover their talent from the ghetto. So you living in the ghetto does not mean that you are a bad person in the street.
All right.
So
Okay.
in conclusion is the street, we'll still go back again. The street is not a bad name. The street is just a center name for hustlers. It's a general name for to call those who are struggling to make living. Whether you go to work, whether you are in the bad part, you are in the good part, you are in the ugly part, everybody are inside the street. So the street is for everybody. The street is not for just that man that is a criminal or that man that is a drug dealer or that auntie that is a prostitute. No. The brother that is living in that ghetto going to an office job, will you call that person a bad person because he lives in the midst of bad people? No. Fine, they say, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. Sometimes it's not true. Yeah, I might be moving with a criminal does not mean I'm a criminal.
Or you'll be moving with smokers that
don't mean I'm a smoker. So sometimes that show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. Not every time that is right. There are some circumstances is right.
It's different.
So there are some circumstances that is not right. So you are in the streets. Know the reason why you are in the street. Know where you are going and where you are coming from. So don't, because you are in the street categorically, everybody is a criminal. No, everybody in the street is not a criminal.
Okay. Well said. Wow. Viewers, you can bear me witness to this kind of discussion. In fact, right now it is so clear that when we talk of streets, please don't be in a hurry to judge. Don't be in a hurry to conclude that street is all about weed smokers, drug dealers, prostitutes,
and all that.
All those. No. Take time and think twice. By the time you finish thinking, you will know that you too, you're on the streets.
I think the best question is somebody tell you, I'm a street hustler. Ask the person, what do you do?
What do you do?
Ask the person, what do you do? Don't just think the person is a criminal.
Yeah. So viewers, as the name goes, here we talk about the reality. We let you know the reality on the ground. We give you quality information that you can use it in your life. Thank you for staying with us today. See you in our next episode.